I'd like to call the Monday, December 16th, 2024 Smithfield School Committee meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The emergency evacuation and health notification. In the case of an emergency, there are two main exits out of the media center. They are located to the right and left side of the media center through the set of double doors. Proceed to follow the exit signs to the exit doorways. There are restrooms located outside of the media center through either side of the double doors. There's a public comment sign-up sheet up here in the front. If you want to speak during that portion of the program, just please sign it, and that way we won't miss you. Also, anybody who speaks at any portion of this, please speak at the podium up here so it gets captured on the camera. Before we actually begin, I would just like to take a brief second to thank everybody in the passing of my wife. The support has been fabulous from the administration, school committee members, faculty and staff, and people in town. It really has been very helpful. And when Jill and I got married, we both grew up in the town of Smithfield. And when we were in what I refer to as our nomadic years, we're floating around looking for a place, we were very excited when we were able to find a house in Smithfield because we knew about the people, which really made a big difference. Oh, and the schools, by the way. But once again, thank you. Now we're going to move on. Consent agenda items. Approval of minutes. 4.1, the minutes of the December 2nd, 2024 school committee meeting. 4.2, approval of bills. Regular bills totaling $493,811.85. Direct checks from September 26, 24 through December 13, 24, totaling $174,864.68. And lunch bills totaling $98,858.59. And finally, 4.3, which is the approval of homeschooling based on the attached list. This does require a motion.
Motion to approve consent agenda items.
And a second.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions, comments? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against nay, the ayes have it. High school student representative report. Kyla's not here right now. If she comes in, we'll move that on. So now, are we ready for the event?
No, I think they're still gathering all
Okay,
the
then
players.
we're going to skip number 6. We want to get the whole team. Are they coming in now? Okay,
Great.
they're not in the penalty box, they're coming in. Very good, there we are. So item number 6 is recognition of the Smithfield High School girls field hockey team and coach. In order to do this, I would ask that the members of the team and coach come down front here. Don't be shy.
Would the team come up front and center? And Coach Pam as well.
There you go.
This is great. This allows the audience to be able to see this fantastic team and to get pictures as you're being awarded a recognition. Just a few words about the team. They won its first Division III championship since 2013, beating Classical 4-3. Classical had an unbeaten record, 16-0. The game was scoreless with 2 overtime periods. The championship was earned through 2 rounds of sudden victory, penalty strokes. Going into the tournament, the team was 3rd seed based on their 3rd place finish in the regular season. They had to beat 2 teams, Classical and Cranston Co-op. The team is coached by veteran Pam Etheridge and assistant coach Holly Pashnik. I also want to point out, in addition to this team and its really unbelievable from behind total victory to be state champions, we also have a champion with our veteran coach, Pam Etheridge, who was selected as Coach of the Year by the state of Rhode Island. Thank you, congratulations to all.
captain or co-captains or whoever? Okay, lucky you. Look what you get. Get a refrigerator for this on. Smithfield Public Schools recognition of high achievement presented to the Smithfield High School girls field hockey team, Division III champions 2024-25 season. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sweet. You guys will be
Hi, everybody.
Thank you.
Do any of you play on the hockey team? Just out of curiosity.
They're not here.
Hockey right now.
Oh, that would make sense, wouldn't it now? We're becoming the female hockey powerhouse, apparently. Field hockey and ice hockey. Very good.
Coach Pam, would you want to say a few words? You've been coaching for many years. Well, congratulations to the team and congratulations to you as well.
We're very proud of them.
We also have a presentation for the coach.
You'll have to step up for this.
Smithfield Public Schools recognition as a State Division III Field Hockey Coach of the Year, presented to Coach Pam Etheridge, 24-25.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look at me and smile.
Okay, I'm going to move on to item number 7, which is discuss, review, and approval of the Colliers Project Leaders for OPM Services for Districts Stage 1 and Stage 2 and Stage 3, the Smithfield High School emergency repairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, we were here asking for permission to be able to enter into negotiations with Colliers. I'm happy to report that it was, I believe, extremely successful. Attorney Ben Scungio, managing partner of our district's law firm, was part of that negotiations, as well as the principals over at OPM and myself. We were really successful in terms of adjusting this contract so that it's not only Stage 1 and Stage 2, which is the design phase, which is the 5 and 10 year span of projects for improvements, throughout the district, but we were also able to, and the reason that we're putting forth for the hopefully approval for this company is we believe that Colliers can also do 2 emergency construction projects, which would be Stage 3. This, again, it's extremely timely, but were this to be approved tonight by the school committee and tomorrow night by the town council, we would be able to begin with the selection of an architect prior to the break so that we can start and the design could be ready prior to the February 15th deadline set up by RIDE. Within that priority would be to do 2 emergency projects right here at the high school. One that when we toured as a team, including with the school committee chairman, my colleagues here, our director of facilities, and with Colliers, we took a look at the intensive special education room, and our desire, I know as a team, is to move that room with the students' center right here in the library and do renovations to the rooms that are currently housing our IT department, so to switch those rooms. We consider it an emergency, not because there's any problem with either one of the rooms, but because we'd like to have an inclusive environment where students are front and center in the mix at our high school, where it's really important for them to be socialized, to be part of all academic and extracurricular programs, where we hope to have a garden right outside of this library. The second emergency projects, and again, this is taken from the 20-year plan in which the school committee and the town council agreed on primary projects for the first 5 years. So the ISC moving was a priority project, as was several other projects, including updating the culinary room. So when we had a preliminary walkthrough with RIDE, we know that to finish our CT certification, there would need to be changing of the flooring and a remediation, of course, a drain put in there, and to be able to do that, we would certainly have to do this when school is not in session. In your packets, I was very happy to add that we were on an accelerated track with the CTE Culinary, that we have been approved by RIDE to start as a CTE Culinary starting next fall. What that means is that students who have been in the culinary foods classes over the past year that we've been offering them will automatically go on to the track, so that we will be graduating, once we have the facility updated, students in that pathway. That will be our 6th pathway that's here. Additionally, we're taking a look at several of our bathrooms because those are also among the priority one. With the emergency projects that were added onto Colliers, the key is they must be within $500,000. So what this would mean is we would have to have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 emergency projects for at least one of those emergency projects ready to go, and be able to start those renovations by the end of June. If, again, going into the second project, we would be able to start by July. So it's a very aggressive timetable. We believe that Colliers has the experience to, and the knowledge, and the team that can bring us through not just stage 1 and stage 2, because we did have excellent companies bidding, and probably any could do that. The difficult part is to be able to quickly pivot to the stage 3 emergency and to be able to start it in really this fiscal year. So again, this was adjusted so that the cost of that stage 3 was wrapped into stage 1 and 2 without an additional cost. But if there's any questions.
This will require a motion.
Motion to approve OPM agreement?
And a second?
Second.
Motion has been
Mr.
made and
Chairman,
seconded.
could I just amend, that to include approval, including the cost, which would be at $215,000 plus reimbursables?
Did you say 215
Yes,
plus?
plus reimbursables.
So motion to approve OPM agreement for $215,000 plus reimbursables.
Second. Okay, so the revised motion has been made and seconded. Questions?
No questions. I think just a comment
Yeah,
of.
sure.
I think I can speak for myself, but coming onto the board 2 years ago, this was a huge thing that I heard community-wide of just our schools are not where they should be. And it's been years and years and years of no updates being done. So it's awesome to see updates finally being done, so thanks for the hard work. I love to see it, and I use the word aggressive, and I love to see an aggressive way because this has been overlooked for many, many years. So it's great to finally see updates happening to our schools. That's the only thing.
Just a comment on it, and while it is aggressive, when we did do the tour, I can tell you that the people from Colliers, when we were looking at that room there, which would essentially be the intensive special ed room, right there they were having, you could see them having ideas as to different things we could do there. So the importance of this is because we need to know what we can do, and there's not some beam that's so stopping this or whatever it is, and that's really important that we get that going. With regards to the culinary room, The major part there that the state requires is a drain. In order to have a drain, you have to have a sloped floor. In order to have a sloped floor, you have to pull up all the asbestos-backed tiles. So that's the type of job that can really only be done in the summer. You know, it's not like one room where we can do it on a school vacation week. This is a bigger area. It requires pulling it up, but also changing the slope and everything there. But by straddling the year, which we're lucky to do, we should be able to get 2 of those done and started, not done because of the bigger project, but we can at least get them started. And just to echo what Amanda said, we need to be fixing our buildings. That's what it is. They need to be updated. We did a lot for the elementary schools, but the high school and middle school, they really need it. They're in good shape when our maintenance people keep them upgraded, but there's things that need to be done. So approval tonight, then tomorrow night it goes to town council, which is important. They need to approve it. Once they approve it, we can then get that aggressive fast track going. So, okay. All right, we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. We'll now move on to item 8, superintendent's report. You're going to want me to press a button.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So tonight, as part of our budget process and the calendar that was approved a couple of months ago, tonight I'm just going to give you an overview of some of the goals that we would like to meet in terms of the FY26 budget. And I've broken them down to categories, certainly starting with academic excellence. So increasing academic achievement, student performance in all areas is always our goal, and how we're doing that, working towards that, is making sure that we have high quality curriculum materials, that we have ongoing professional development, increased professional development for faculty, staff, and our administration, that our lessons in the classroom are hands-on and engaging, so we're working certainly in that way. We see that in our classrooms, we see that with our art programs, our science programs, our new CTEs, really across the board. So, and ensuring that we meet the needs of all students. All students mean where they're at, whether multilingual learners, students with disabilities, students taking advanced placement classes, college track, or those students who want to go directly into careers. Speaking of, we want to keep increasing our career-based learning opportunities, certainly at the secondary level, building upon our 5 pathways, to add a 6th with culinary by the fall to be officially named. We're also looking at increasing, based on really student demand and demand in the state, for a biomedical CTE. So we did receive an initial grant to provide professional development for several, I believe, Sarah, 4 science teachers? 4 science teachers during this year to be able to explore that. So there would be multiple career paths through a biomedical CTE. More on that later. It's also important for us to align our high school and our middle school so that we have courses and skills that are building towards the high school and the graduation standards for college and career. So certainly a lot of work is being done with our middle school and high school schedules, our faculty, our staff, our administration, so that there is an alignment, and then making sure that we have a K through 12 alignment where we make sure that we touch all students in terms of, for instance, K through 12 STEM and STEAM pathways. We start talking about possible careers, and we show the connection between what they are doing in class and what's happening out in the real world. We want to start that career exploration by FY26 in our elementary schools. We also want to expand our STEM and STEAM into the middle schools. As you may recall, 2 years ago, we were able to officially change the designation of our library media specialists to STEM specialists with media backgrounds. That was approved by RIDE. That has allowed STEM to be taught in our earliest grades, starting in K. We are certainly looking with the redesign of the middle and the high schools to adding a stronger STEAM component, perhaps through a library media center program. And we also, as we've spoken to you about in the past, is meeting the new graduation requirements. So ensuring that students graduate with Algebra 1, Algebra 2, all the alternatives, at least 2 years of world language, and of course with the changing science standards. Being able to have opportunities, not just at the high school, to start the coursework or these requirements, but to provide opportunities at the middle school should students have that interest and ability to be able to take some of those credits in middle schools, which opens up other possibilities and opportunities in high school. In terms of social emotional wellness and health, ensuring that we have adequate support services in our schools and opportunities for families to be able to access additional support at home. So again, looking at our our counselor-student ratios for school counselors, social workers, ensuring that each of our schools are places where students feel that they belong and are a vital part of, and increasing our extracurricular and after-school activities. Through RIDE and through the state, we are able to, through grants, provide counseling support services that will be online. We anticipate being able to offer that support after the new year, and again, it would be strictly voluntary. And again, this is through a grant that touches each of the districts in the state of Rhode Island. And in terms of recreation, an important part of a student's day, and as we've talked about before, for some students, the reason they come to school is for athletics, maintaining our playgrounds and our athletic fields. We also have to plan for our increase in mandated services, ensuring that we have staffing levels that provide for this robust academic experience, ensuring that our schools are safe, and maintenance of our school buildings. We also have to plan for increased mandates with transportation, both with the company, DATCO, that we contract with day-to-day, but also with statewide, which is a required service, particularly for students who we're paying tuitions in other places for. Ensuring that our budget adequately addresses tuitions and services, and that we begin to plan for greatly increased enrollment. In terms of enrollment, in your packets, and for the audience to be able to see, this is a map of part of Smithfield. It was provided by the town planner. I meet with Mike Phillips on a regular basis. And there is a red arrow pointing to one part of the map that I thought was particularly interesting. Where you see the yellow highlights are where there is current construction of homes, potential construction of homes, or planned approved construction of homes in Smithfield. So as you can see, Smithfield is, as we know, is a desirable place to live for a variety of reasons, but certainly for the quality of the schools as well. Where the red arrow is, and again, this is the, I'm going to call it the La Perche districted area, is the plan for 218 condominiums, consisting of, at least the plan is for 4-bedroom. So that certainly means a lot more children coming into Smithfield, and in the others as well. So there is only one that I'm aware of that is an adult-only community, and that is planned for the Old Windsor School. But the remainder do have possibilities for greatly increased enrollment. So that is something that we have begun to not only have discussions about, but look at particular opportunities for how do we add classrooms, particularly at our elementary levels. When we did the planning last year, we did include it in the approved plans that we saw a trend of enrollment increasing, not decreasing, over the past decade. We were steady for a while, but certainly we are seeing a surge of enrollment, which is exciting, provides a lot of opportunities for us, but certainly we need to make sure that we have state-of-the-art, up-to-date facilities for this next generation of learners. I just want to go on to, as long as we're talking about capital improvements, to maintain that while we have very good buildings, certainly at the elementary levels, much renovation work was done to those. We really need to stay focused on the high school and the middle school in terms of the renovations that we can continue to do. And part of the budget proposal will be to continue to request capital funding as we move forward so that we can make the needed repairs and innovations in our schools. And again, ensuring that our facilities are safe, secure, regular maintenance occurs, and by that I mean having cycles of new furnitures. We were able to replace furniture in 12 classrooms this year at the high school. There certainly is a need for many more classrooms to be replaced both here and at GMS, so having that program and being able to do that each year, as well as maintaining a cycle of painting a certain number of classrooms each year and replacing ceiling tiles, because it does make a difference when your school environment looks welcoming, looks clean and fresh, people want to be here. We also need to, with an expanded outdoor facility with the Boyle project, ensure that we do have the staffing to keep that maintained, to address what I'm going to call critical facility repairs and renovations at the high school and the middle school, so that we stay on top of that, and allow, as we're looking at renovations, how can we expand our college and career opportunities for students and plan for increased enrollments. Thank you.
Questions? I got a comment. I mean, I'm glad you gave us this map here, which kind of puts down where things are going. While the planning process takes place for any development in town, you know, there's basically 3 major steps through when they come up with a final determination of how many units will be and what type they are. And the town has a formula that is pumped into these things to say if there's going to be 10 houses and it says 10 units, and they can tell you if it's a 1-family, if it's a 2-family, if it's an apartment, if it's a condo, if it's a low to moderate income, whatever, what the expected number of students are. Okay, and that's part of the process, and I remember years ago when they first started using it. The one thought I have is to check the accuracy of that. And the way we would do that is take the town planner and us to do it. And I'll give you just one example. I'm sure there are others. There is the area over by Whipple Field. There's a development that was put in there. Georgeville something, I don't know what they call themselves. But we could look at the planning documents which said there would be X number of students, and we can look at how many kids we actually have there. And we can do this, and I don't know all the developments in town that have hit there, but I don't think it would be super complicated. But the reason I say that is because when the planning board or whomever come through with these things, it's 218, don't be shocked. They're going to come back and they're going to say, oh, we expect about 20 kids, or something like that, you know, depending how the formula grinds things out. And I just don't want us to all of a sudden have a big shock when the 20 kids turns into 40 or 60 or whatever, because it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start putting those through all of these into 3 elementary schools and 1 middle school and 1 high school, it does. It adds up, you know. So I think that would be a good idea to test some of these numbers. They might be accurate, but what else can you do? Otherwise, you're sitting here making a decision in the year 2025 that after construction and everybody starts moving in and kids start growing up, it's 10 years before you know right or wrong. So that's just a comment there. So. Okay, anything further on the superintendent's report? If not, we're going to move on to item number 9, an update on the boiler project.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Angela Mancucci could not be here tonight, but we do have 2 invoices, as well as an update on the current work that's being done on the concession stand. The concrete slab adjustments are ready to be made. The epoxy floor paint will be installed. It actually was scheduled for the beginning of this week. And the discussion on the types of signage was completed at the last Boyle meeting. And those signs will be going into production and will be returned. The signage will include hours of operation, proper footwear, in-field use, when it is open to the public, when it's not, and items that should not be on a field. This way it lasts much longer.
Any questions at all? Okay. Now we'll go to item 10, discuss, review, and approve RGB invoice number 6683-30, not to exceed $1,563.08. This does require a motion.
Motion to approve RGB invoice not to exceed $1,563.08.
And a second.
Second.
Motion is made, second. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. Nobody. Okay, so it passes. Item 11, discuss, review, and approval of Lakeshore Environmental number 24-363, not to exceed $1,633. This will require a motion.
Motion to approve Lakeshore Environmental not to exceed $1,633.
And a second.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. The ayes have it. Bring us to communications. There's a copy of resignations, retirements, and new hires in the district. A copy of the fiscal year 25 budget calendar. A copy of the budget transfers for the month of November. A copy of the district's inventory reports. A copy of the RIDE acceptance letter for the Culinary Arts Program, CTE. And a copy of memo regarding additional lighting at the Boyle Field complex. And if I understand correctly, that request has been made to the town council, and I guess they're going to look at it and see what they do. They haven't necessarily approved it yet, or?
I believe at tomorrow's meeting, so the town has additional APRA funds that this would apply to. The APRA funds, the school department had expended theirs on the construction project. They have to be expended by the end of December, so the recommendation came from the Boyle committee to the town council, just under $30,000 to have additional lighting all around the field, around the visitors' bleachers and the home bleachers, which will greatly enhance the lighting of the Boyle Athletic project.
Thank you. Public forum? Nothing on public forum. Item 14, consider items to add to future agendas. We are missing one member who I forgot to say is an excused absence. We don't want her falling any deathly ill or whatever, but Ms. Sala could not make it under the weather. And since we really should be going over goals, I think all 5 of us need to be involved in that conversation. So that gets a pass for now. Before we get into the last things, I just want to remind everybody that next year, most of the meetings are going to be on Thursday nights. So that's, our next meeting is next year. Except for a couple, most of them will be Thursdays. All right, now we'll go into item number 15. Consider and vote on a motion to convene executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A, matters pertaining to collective bargaining with SATACE, Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A2. Discussion regarding the matter of security, Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A3, school security. And also review of the executive session minutes of the October 21st, 24 meeting. This does require a motion
Motion to convene an executive session?
and a second. A motion has been made and seconded on individual vote. Ms. Stafford?
Aye.
Ms. Hogan?
Aye.
Mr. LeBlanc? And myself, aye. Thank you. Okay.